calls always start out the same way. Hi, my name is Carolyn. May I help you? The may is important. It's not can I help you, it's may I help you. It's a choice. Allowing the caller to decide whether or not to agree to let me into their life for a few minutes. It's the conversations that follow those words that vary widely, however. Most often, people just want to talk to someone who will listen. Maybe I'm the first person they've talked to all day. Maybe I'm who they call after a fight with a husband or wife, or after cutting themselves for the first time. I am the ear that will listen to what they need to say. And sometimes, nothing needs to be said, or nothing can be. I've answered the phone to hear nothing but ragged breathing before, many times. I learned from this that it is possible to have a conversation without words. I met new people every time I picked up the phone. So many beginnings with people who felt like they were at the end. One call I remember above all others. There was a man sitting in his car parked next to a bridge, calling me to ask why he shouldn't jump off of it. We ended up talking for half an hour. We talked about marriage and children and jobs and pets and friends, a whole spectrum of topics I unsubtly introduced to remind him of what he would leave behind. I told him that I thought he was a good person, and he said, "You don't know what kind of person I am." I wanted to say, but I would like to, more than anything. But I knew that I couldn't, that I could never be anything more than a disembodied voice on a last resort phone call to him. After a few more minutes of talking, he said, "Thank you for talking to me. I've got to get going." Before he could hang up, I asked if he was going to be okay. He said yes, thanked me again, then hung up. The thing that still keeps me up at night is whether or not his version of being okay was different than mine. Once I hang up, it is over. For me, anyway. The calls always start out the same way, and the endings feel unfinished. Because ultimately, I'm not the one who's benefiting from the call. I listen while the caller talks him or herself out of a hole. I'm not a therapist, nor am I a close friend. I am a stranger meeting the caller at their lowest points, sometimes the only thing between them and rock bottom. I've heard the saying that you can see who someone truly is when they've got nothing more to lose, but I don't know if I think that's true. I don't pretend to know or understand the people whom I've shared a few minutes with in the space between my phone and theirs, but I do know that they matter. And I wish I could tell everyone that they matter when I meet them. We build up so much importance around beginnings and firsts, and sometimes that's all you ever see of a person. Your first impression of them becoming your only impression of them. So if I only get one chance to meet somebody, as I have hundreds of times while answering the phones or in real life, I want to make it count. Answering phones for a suicide hotline made me powerfully aware of the power of words and the power of silence. I learned how to listen, and I think that was one of the most important lessons I've ever experienced. I learned that healing often happens in the spaces between words. So if I am at a beginning in my life, I try to meet every situation with an open mind. I try to listen to the people I meet, and I try to listen to myself. And as hard as it is in this self-centered world, I try and remember that everyone is living a life as complex and vivid as my own, all struggling with their own personal hardships, and that, like it or not, we all matter.